Hello, we're early because we were talking anyway, and I just said fuck it. So, this is episode 136. Melinda's here. Cuddle Time Critters in the building. Let's do our sponsor shout out. Since this is the bonus episode, we don't have to do the full shout out. We do baby shout outs. Veterinary.com for all of your testing needs. I know you need a test. Don't pretend like you don't. I already know you do. So, veterinary.com. And then sponsors Stoneage Ball Pythons, Powerhouse Ball Pythons, BNS Reptilia, Small Town Xotics, Bravo Zulu, Reptiles? Why can't I never Pythons? My brain doesn't work. I didn't sleep very good last night. And Gray Family Snakes. A bunch of them will be at Tinley because they are so cool. So cool. But I am not cool. Are you cool, Melinda?
Not unless I sneak away, drive down there real fast, and drive back. And that's a bit of a drive to do that. I usually do October.
You
October's
do?
my birthday, so it's kind of like happy birthday to me. And if I pick up something, fine. If I don't, fine. I usually pick up something. I actually
How far of a drive is it for you?
About 7 to 8 hours. Actually, one of the snakes that you had on the what do you call it, collage or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The one in the, I think it's one further down. His name is actually Tinley.
Oh, cool. That's fun. Tinley seems fun. I'm jealous of everybody else. I'll put it that way. But I think 8 hours is probably my limit. Like for like a little adventure.
Yeah.
You know, you could drive one day without waking up early. What's up,
Yeah.
chat? Chris, Andrew, Emma, Christina.
I'm actually getting some animals from Chris.
At Tinley? Or is he like
No,
shipping
he's
it to
gonna send them out later.
you? Okay, what are you getting?
Mexican Black Kings.
Mm-hmm. Very good choice. Excellent choice.
I'm getting a full-grown female, a male, and I already have a female, juvenile female.
Is this your first new species, or is this like part of a process of adding more species?
Part of process of adding more,
Mm-hmm.
but first of all, you want me to tell you just what's in my living room? Keep in mind, my husband is a pet person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the crazy one, I guess, with all this behind me. Okay, just in my living room, we got 2 rats, a red-tailed boa. She's still fairly small, juvenile. A baby green iguana.
Oh,
We
shit.
got a yeah. Mind you, this is all my husband's stuff. Then we've got one of my I believe it's Dracula line crested gargoyle gecko.
Mm-hmm.
Lineage from Tiki's geckos. It came from BHB. And then we've got a blue pinstripe tegu, a box turtle, a
So just a menagerie.
okay, I'm not done. I'm almost done. A box turtle, a bearded dragon, a Euromastic, and the first black Mexican king up there, and 1 ball python.
That's all your husband stuff?
Yes.
That's a lot. I mean, it's fun, but it's definitely a bunch of happy pets, right?
Yeah. The black Mexican king. See, that's the thing. I cannot take him to the show because he wants to add something else to that living room.
Well, that's good though, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. You still want projects. Can you make him want projects? Like whole No projects. Just one of each.
Yeah. Originally, he wanted a Burmese, and my exact words were, once I researched and did everything,
Sorry.
and I told him his next wife can help him with that Burmese.
So you're mostly into ball pythons.
My main project is ball pythons. And the reason is Cuddle Time Critters is because when I started in the ball pythons, I was just buying babies.
Mm-hmm.
So after the 3rd snake, I started breeding my rodents. And I was already breeding the crested geckos.
But you got out of breeding crested geckos?
No,
You still have
them.
some. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're mostly, what percentage ball pythons are you versus crested geckos in terms of like number of babies produced?
I currently have about 130 ball pythons and probably about 100 of the crested geckos.
Oh, it's like pretty even.
Yeah, and the crested geckos, I might have 10 pairs. And the gargle geckos, I might have 2 pairs. So it's not heavy. A lot of it's, and I don't put them on my table until they're a year old.
What do you think sells better right this second in the world? Crested geckos or ball pythons? Or does it depend on the show?
I think it depends on the show, and I think it depends on what kind of people if it's a pet show and whatnot. I think it might be fairly even, depending on what you're into. And that's the reason I got it in the crested geckos, and I just needed something going besides rats.
Right.
And I fell in love with the crested geckos, and I actually had to take one to the vet this last week.
Oh no.
He has an eye infection.
Poor buddy. Is he on antibiotics?
He's on a cream right now, and he tries to bite me every time I do it.
He's mad.
I'll just open the tub, and it's like, ah!
Well, okay, so we met at the OKC herb show.
Yes.
Which sucks.
Yes.
I just want everybody to know. No, the Herbs is actually better than the Show Me. Is it the same city?
Yeah.
They both are pretty
equal.
I guess Herbs is a little better, if that makes you feel any kind of way.
I want to do the Oklahoma show again, but
do you?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, I'm listening.
That's because the Show Me snake is like a petting zoo.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gotten mites so many times doing shows. I don't let nobody hold my animals unless they plan on purchasing. Point blank.
I'm just done. It's a lot of work dealing with people.
And I'm like, I've came down to nope. If you're really interested and I feel that you might purchase, yeah. And I still have the sanitizer at the table, and it's just bringing them. See, I don't have a separate room just for my show stuff.
Right. It's hard. It makes it hard.
Uh-huh.
Is there a Show Me? Okay, this is a real. Of any of the shows you've done, are any of them better than? Better.
Okay.
How about just better?
I did a Show Me snake, the same town, different shows. One show I did 0. One show I did 1,500. Same location.
Was it in the spring, the better one, or the summer, or fall, winter? Was it a time of year?
I'd have to look it up. I'm thinking it was like right after the first of the year.
Okay. My understanding for the Show Me OKC is that the spring one is always like pretty good because it's like timed right after tax season.
Mm-hmm.
And I keep missing that one because I go do another show somewhere else. And I believe it. I believe it. Mm-hmm. But then like the summer is pretty whatever. And then the winter's kind of whatever again. You know, you could probably make some money, but there's just not that much money in the room. So like some people make 1,500, some people make 0. And then it's just like, okay.
It all depends where you're at in the room. It depends on. It's just there's so many variables you just don't know unless you go. And my thing is, I'm trying to avoid around Mother's Day, Father's Day, any holiday whatsoever. I don't even care.
Families are bringing kids.
No, it's because. Every time I've ever did a show towards a holiday or close to a holiday, it's never gone well. Like if I do a Saturday show before Memorial Day, nothing. I've just had really bad luck when it comes to close to holidays. Like if it's close to 4th of July, nothing. But that's my own experience. So I'm trying to avoid those holidays. And I've noticed the shows that have been booked this year, and I think they're doing the same thing. The promoters are trying to stay away from the holidays.
We'd have to ask Mickey and see what he thinks.
Yeah.
Like I've done shows not close to Christmas, but like 2 weeks before Christmas, and I'm always scared because I'm like, are people actually going to buy their kid a pet 2 weeks before Christmas? Sometimes they do. But like, those are always like pretty mid.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So if you have a 0 sales show, do you go back to that location one more time to like see if it's a bad show, or how many chances do you give a show before you write it off?
See, I do a lot of shows. I don't really write off any show. I kind of stepped away from Columbia, Missouri, because it's the venue is smaller than most.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed another vendor that's not too far from me. He's actually quit the show also. I haven't seen him at the show the last few times I've been there.
Yeah.
So, but my thing is, you can't make money unless you go out there.
I know, but you can't make money not making money also.
Yeah,
so like you spend money to not make money is the
Yeah.
opposite of making money also. So like this is like a tension I have every day. Is like if you don't go out and try, you're not going to make shit.
Yeah.
Unless you put them on Morph Market or whatever. But if you go out and you reward promoters for bad shows by being there, even if the show you covered your expenses, if you didn't actually make money, you're rewarding the promoter. You're like, here's my table fee.
Promoter made the money, not me.
Exactly. Fuck that, right? The whole room needs to make money to some extent if they were clean, healthy animals, captive bred, happy pets. What you know what I mean? Like that's and I don't know how to fucking do it. I'm not a promoter, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But I like every time I talk to Dave Levison, because he's like from your neck of the woods.
Yeah, he's at a lot of my shows I go to. Like I do Springfield, Missouri. He's there every time. And Springfield, Missouri is a good show. And
is that a show me or
that is a show me?
Okay. Yeah, I think they do have good shows in their circuit. I just think they need to kill shows that are bad or move them.
Move them somewhere else.
Yeah, even in the same city, right? Just like sometimes it's just like the location is kind of weird. And then it's like, can people find it? Do they drive around aimlessly the fairgrounds and get lost? You know what I mean?
That
or whatever.
That is a Springfield, that situation. One time I went there, I signed up for the show. The whole building was gone.
What do you mean, a tornado got it?
No. They moved us to another building.
They just didn't tell anybody?
Better building. So they currently got the better building up, but we haven't been in it yet. Okay. And then, like, one time, it was like 40 or 50 degrees, and they didn't have any heat in the room.
Great.
Then it was really, really hot, and they had no airflow whatsoever.
Even better. I love a good heat stroke. That's my favorite. The problem is, Andrew, you don't want to lure children to your table because you want people who have money to buy things. So you want to lure paying customers to your table. That's the problem, Andrew.
When I'm sitting at a table, you know this, I'll bring, if they're clear on the other side of the aisleway and there's not a table that they're looking at, I'll yell at them and say, "Hey, how you doing?"
Yeah.
And I get their attention to come to the table.
I do all kinds of weird stuff. It's sometimes if they're just poor, it doesn't matter what you do. Like, remember, like you could do stripper moves. You can do whatever in the aisleway.
Talk me into doing that.
Yeah, I was trying to. It was gonna be awesome. There's no fucking money in the room. They can't buy anything. Period. End of story. That's my opinion. So like, yes, it's, and that's not the promoter's fault. They could set up in a city with 2-3 million people, and just the whole fucking city's poor, and you're just like, fuck. Yeah, I don't know how to solve any of that, except like you got to keep trying different shows, maybe further away, different places. Figure out which ones work for you and your collection, because maybe the guy beside you could do 5K because he's selling something really cool and they have money for him, but they don't always necessarily have money.
What I'm gonna start doing is still look at the show me snakes, but I want to venture off in doing the cold blooded or doing the herp show. I can only do Oklahoma. Everything else is too far.
Even like Conroe and Longview and stuff, it'd be another 3 hours or whatever added to it.
Yeah, that's 5 hours to get there to Oklahoma.
Fuck,
no,
I'm doing Odessa. That's 5 hours for me. Like, I'm going south because I think
5 hours is almost the limit unless it's a weekend show.
Right. Well, the OKC ones, both of them are 2-day shows, so you would be doing.
I have to look at it again, see if they got any tables available.
I think Conroe's like really full in Longview, but for me, the Herp show is good in many ways. Like, they do better. They have better signage on the road. They have lots of signs like go this way, go that way, reptile show this way, and so that's good. I like that. The hard part is like it's very much like, it feels like it's like entrenched vendors. Like, it's the same vendors that do almost every show in the circuit.
Yeah.
And then you're like, are people just coming back to see the guy that they always come back to see? And then that's why I'm not getting any traction. I don't know.
That could be. Some people like certain vendors out there, and if you don't have what they're looking for, they're going to keep on walking.
Right. I'm just afraid. Like, I've done, I don't know, maybe 8 shows in OKC. I feel like I haven't gotten any traction at all, hardly. Some people remember me, and some people, whatever, know the podcast. I just feel like they don't care at all. I feel like I had better traction in the Pacific Northwest, and after about 8 shows. So it's like a struggle. So that's why I'm doing Odessa. I'm like, I'm just going to go further away just to see if there's any difference. I mean, if there's not, then it's not worth the drive. But
yeah. Like, I did Davenport, Iowa. One show was great, and I came back, and the next show, I did a 0 show. So I don't know.
Fuck. Why does that happen?
Like I said, I think it's just a crapshoot. Unfortunately, we depend on these customers to keep us going, and if they ain't got the money, we're SOL.
We gotta dance in the aisles. That's what you're telling me. For tips.
I've actually sold 1, 2, 3 snakes here locally, just people coming after me for rats. I have 3 snakes on hold.
Would it be better to do more local sales that aren't with a show attached to rat sales?
I think it is.
And then focus the expensive stuff on Morph Market, and you know what I mean? Maybe we're not hustling hard enough or something. But
I hardly ever get traction on Morph Market. The other day I had, like, it always worries me when you get a level 0, someone inquiring about a snake.
They're scary.
And then I had that same person kept on inquiring and asked me for the shipping cost. I gave them the shipping cost, and the shipping cost was almost up to the same amount as I originally asked for the snake. So the snake was $200. They asked for $100, and then I go on Redline, and I didn't have any codes or anything, and it was like $80. And then she acted like she didn't want to get it.
Yeah, it is hard. It is hard to convince someone to pay as much, or if not more. Although it is possible, but it's hard.
Then that same day, I had another person inquire with the 0 level, but she's in town.
Well,
That's
good.
4 snakes. Same
That's good.
snake that other lady wanted, and I just put it on hold. I said, you have until Friday to. She said she didn't get paid until Friday. I put it on hold for her, and I will contact her later this afternoon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hopefully that works. Like, I wish I lived somewhere where there were more people, because I used to sell a ton of stuff. $80 male ball pythons, $100 female heads, whatever, locally. Like, pick them up at my gate. I'll meet you at Walmart. Don't give a fuck. Like, whatever. A ton of them. I can't sell them anymore because I live in the middle of nowhere. So, like,
where did you live and where do you live now?
I lived just outside of Olympia, Washington before.
Oh, okay.
So that's like a pretty big city, but it's next to Tacoma, which is a bigger city, which is next to Seattle, which is an even bigger city. So within like a 2-hour drive, you could be, I don't know, how many people are there? 6 million or something? Like the whole corridor?
See, I live in a big metropolitan area. Like, there's small towns all around me.
That's good.
They
for local sale purposes.
Basically, it's the Kansas City area, which, like, we got Independence, Lee Summit, Liberty, Blue Springs, Green Valley. That's just on the Missouri side, but there's probably over there in Johnson County area, there's probably Merriam, Shawnee, just several different named towns. Olathe.
That's good. Then maybe it's worth hustling a little bit locally somehow, like on Facebook or Craigslist or whatever.
See, it's a little sketchy on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't mean like directly, just like posting a picture of your favorite animal and being like, getting your name out there. And if they want to message you for a list, they can. That sort of stuff. Yeah, that worked good in Washington. It doesn't work good here because I guess it could if I was willing to drive an hour to meet them halfway. Because like your major center is 2.5 hours away. So that's the nearest set of people.
Why don't you, like you said, promote on Facebook and said, no delivery fee. The only delivery fee is meet me halfway.
I probably would. Let me rephrase what I just said. I probably should. Like, I have a little bit, but like, there's something weird going on here that I don't understand. I think it has to do with Wilbanks and
probably
being here, because they can order on his website and pick up at the store pretty easily for a ball python.
Yeah.
And so, like, why the fuck would they want to buy from anybody else? You can go through a really nice looking website, pick any old snake, and schedule it for pickup and pick it up at a like a pre-approved time at this nice store. It's so hard to compete with, brother.
But he doesn't have colubrids, does he?
He was trying to get into some of them. So yeah, so most of my local sales have been colubrids, is correct. But it's very hard to sell like a ball python on a Facebook group. You're like, oh, it's a male, it's lemon blast, $50, don't care, right?
Yeah.
Nobody wants it. They're like flooded out because they can go pick whatever they want from Wilbanks at any time. That's how it feels for ball pythons in this area. I could be wrong.
Do you know any other breeders besides you that does the ball pythons?
There's a bunch of breeders here, but to me, and they're definitely still selling on Facebook, but it's definitely a different vibe. It's a much more mature market, and so like, maybe they're like flooded out. Too many ball pythons. That's my theory. I don't know. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm going further afield. I'm doing Odessa because Odessa has like the oil fields. So I'm hoping for sweet oil field money.
Mhm.
And it's just further away, right? So maybe like the economics of what's going on changes, and they don't have Wilbanks in Odessa. So
Mhm.
they can't go pick up any cool thing easy, no problem.
Yeah.
That's the dream. We're trying to take actions that are different. And if Odessa doesn't work, that's okay. I don't know if he's here. I was thinking about doing Nick's Colorado show. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, I thought about it, and I think Troy's part of that. But
Mm-hmm.
what's that? At the end of uh, April.
Yeah.
I know my husband would want to go to that show because it's in Colorado. He can do other shit while I'm at the show.
Yeah, that's part of why I want to do it. Like a destination vacation.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful to drive through Colorado, you know?
Yeah.
What's
I
up,
want to
Jarp?
start doing the Colorado
What's
here
up,
or
Holly?
there. Hey, Holly.
Yeah, Morph Market has been quite popping, though, to be perfectly clear, the last couple of weeks, like since taxes started hitting, I think I've sold 10, 15.
Damn.
I don't know, a lot.
I wish they'd come my way, but I don't have very much on there. I finally figured out how to import through Husbandry Pro, so it's going to make it a lot easier.
Straight Blast says, I've had some luck moving animals to Morph Market over the last month or so, but looking at scale, I don't have much up there, so my experience has not been the norm at scale, just selling on Morph Market. Yes.
It's been hard for me.
Yeah, it's been a hard, like 2023 has been a hard year. And we have been doing good. We're down to 40,918 ball pythons this morning. So so since the month flipped over and people got paid, taxes are coming back, we dropped down another 1,000. So that's good. So you're not necessarily competing with that many, not competing with as many people. But I do think the auctions have sort of sucked the air out of like the retail sales a little bit. What do you think about that idea?
Say that again now.
Do you think the auction sales have taken a lot of attention away from regular hosts? Okay. Like when you go to Morph Market, do you first look at auctions or do you look at?
I look at the main stuff because I'm looking for something in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Like I hatched a double visual, and the double visual, one of them is a male, but I'm trying to get pastel out of my clowns.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least my males, most of my clowns have pastel in them.
Right.
And
so you're looking for a hypo clown male that doesn't have pastel.
Male.
Did you guys see that leopard that was up there? There was a leopard.
I seen that one, and I really like that one. It's just the lack of this.
Right. It's hard because people, you to buy more snakes, you just sell enough snakes to cover your expenses and buy more snakes. So it does suck.
And I still got to fix my house with the tree falling on it.
You have a tree on your house too?
Yes, it fell on my house, bounced off the corner of the house, totaled out my daughter's car. She's got another car.
No.
And I got some insurance money back on it, but I'm going to wait on the taxes to complete it because I still had a $1,500 deductible anyways.
Okay.
So I got to use some of my taxes to fix the house.
Sorry.
And I need to get these rodents out of my house and into the shed.
Are you doing a mini split?
I am.
Okay.
It's partly way in there. I don't know how to do any of that, and my brother's doing it. I'm getting a mini split for in here too.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, my ambient, whatever the house is, that's what is in here. And my stuff is breeding. I just got the third clutch in there, and I've got 5 more coming.
Soon? Like a post-ovulation shed? Soon?
All of them's I think all of them's pre-laid shed for me. Yeah, all of them's had a pre-laid shed. I got a freeway clutch. I got a hypopide double head clutch. I got a blue-eyed Lucy clutch. And I have a dinker female that I've been messing with for the last 4 years. Her clutch. And then I've got a Batman Dark Knight clutch coming.
That's fun.
So that male that you had, one of those males on that page, the one on the corner with the stripe all the way down his back, he is a black pastel chocolate Mojave leopard heifer clown, and he was bred to a spot nose female.
Just spot nose or spot nose clown?
Spot nose clown.
Okay. All right, sweet. That'll be fun. There'll be a lot of stuff in there. It's fun.
Yeah, I might be keeping a lot of it.
Isn't that the truth?
I would like a male to be a Dark Knight, but if it's a female, I'll keep it. Yeah, if I have 3 of them, who knows what I'll do then. One of them probably have to leave.
Yeah, especially if you have a bunch of boys that are cool, but you don't need all of those boys. You just need a replacement for dad.
Yeah, but most of my boys, clown, they have pastel in it. Like I have a pastel blade spot nose clown.
So you would keep more boys to replace all of the other dads?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I have a pastel vanilla heifer clown.
Yeah.
Heifer hypo. There's too many genes.
It sounds like you're working on doubles. What are your favorite doubles right now?
I'm working really heavy on the clown pied, the clown hypo, and then we're going into the hypo DG and the DG by itself. When DG was out the roof, I basically have like 3 or 4 females that haven't even bred at all.
Visual females?
No, just head.
Okay.
I changed. Okay, my very first ball python, I paid $185 for. And the most expensive one, I paid $5,000 for. So I'm trying to go more on the higher end. I probably have 7 to 8 females that are either pied that's heifer clown or clown that's heifer pied.
Have you bought a clown pied male yet? Since they're now $700 or whatever.
That's one of the pictures I just sent you.
Right.
He's a OD pied clown.
Have you been buying more because they're cheaper now? Like more females? You can get like an inchy clown pied for a female for $1,000. Stuff like that.
Like that one picture I sent was a banana inchy OD clown that's heifer pied. I've got a citron clown that's heifer pied. I've got an OD fire yellow belly pied that's heifer clown. And she's locked once with that chocolate Mojave black pastel male, because the OD clown pied wasn't even producing sperm plugs and it wasn't even locking anyway. So I'm just trying to build him up. He still hasn't bred yet.
Is he 18 months or is he younger than that?
Let me check his cub.
While you check, I'll read this. Straight Pass says, I look at both. I bought 2 that I'll be picking up at Tinley, and both were specifically searched for. Auctions are cool to watch, but not sure a thing when you don't know what you want. Right. I feel like if it's what you want and it's on auction, why not buy it or whatever? Like it's from somebody who's a cool person or just seems normal. But I feel like it sucks up like attention. Like people aren't necessarily browsing as much. So I get less inquiries in total.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see how it is.
He's a 22. So he might be close to 18 months.
Mm-hmm.
He was a twin, so he was really tiny.
Mm-hmm. That sucks. Yeah,
So,
sometimes they take longer than 18 months.
hey, flawless.
What's up?
But so I just want to make sure he's good and well because I do have something going on with the snake. He's actually being quarantined all by himself.
With the clown pied? Is
No,
quarantined?
this was the inchy pie that bred to my hypo,
Mm-hmm.
but he wasn't eating. I took him to the vet. They tube fed him before I even got it paid for. He already hacked it up back up.
Did they feed him carnivore care?
I don't know what they fed him. They
Okay.
didn't show me anything. They took him in the back to tube feeding.
Did they need to tube feed him? Like, what was the
It was a few.
process that they came to that conclusion?
I gave him the date the last time he was fed, and she says we really need to get a meal in him. So that's when they decided to tube feed him.
How much time had passed?
Not even 15 minutes.
No, I mean like since he last ate.
Probably 4 months.
Okay. I'm not a vet, and this isn't veterinary advice, but I maybe don't go to that vet anymore. I would never have tube fed a snake, an adult ball python who'd only been off food for 4 months. Seems crazy. There's
But
probably carnivore care, right?
yeah,
Which is fine. You can definitely feed that to snakes, but 4 months is not. A ball python does not sweat 4 months, even if it's losing weight. It's like whatever. I'll keep going. I've had ball pythons not eat for a year.
so have I.
You know, that's weird. That's weird that they like lost their minds a little bit.
She felt his belly. There's no urates. Basically, nothing in his gut.
Right, but that's okay. Snakes fast. I don't know. That's crazy. Sorry. I'm sure you had to pay for that. How much did that cost?
I have no idea though. It was. I took 2 snakes and the gecko, and it was like over $200.
Oh, I guess it wasn't that bad. Did you take the snake in because he was otherwise sick or because he was just not eating?
I was just concerned about him not eating, and I just didn't know what else to. I originally took him in to see if he had an RI.
Okay.
She looked in his mouth and she said she didn't see any excess saliva or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Have
but
you?
I gave him Da Vinci like 2 days before that.
Okay. So that's Da Vinci or something like that takes time to work. Like they need to have a dose, think about it for a while, have a dose, think about it for a while, and then it turns on their digestive tract enough that they're like, oh, I guess I should eat. Because I don't supplement with Da Vinci for various reasons.
My
But I use
problem
MCT oil.
My problem is I'm the only one that does anything down here, and it's hard to get a pipette down a snake's throat without them flashing, going all over the place.
You definitely need teamwork for that one.
Team is me, myself, and I.
What's your husband do? What if you just like, I don't know, give him little cute eyes, be like, come down, baby, come on. You know what I mean? Come on, Melinda, you can do it. Just hey.
No, he won't. He won't do it. He says I did not sign up to breed nothing. I ain't cleaning shit all day.
Well, he doesn't have to clean it. He just has to restrain the snake. I make my husband do that all the time. Like if you're doing nido testing or arena testing, like because I have to or I'll arena test the boas after they give birth, just like double check that they're still negative.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fucking 8-foot snake, and you're trying to jam a swab in his face for 20 seconds of contact time. That's a 2-man or man and woman job, or woman and woman. You know, we accept all types, but
and that's the whole reason why I said no Burmese.
Right.
There isn't a second person here that will want to help him. with the snake. My son was sketched about it. I was iffy about it, and I just can't do it. I said no.
Mm-hmm.
I had to make the responsible keeper's decision.
That's good. Oh, yeah, sometimes self-control is good, right? Instead
Yeah,
of just doing whatever and then dealing with the consequences later.
yeah. I just I'm
So you're
just trying.
so you're getting MBKs, adding those in. Are you going to add any other species that are supposed to be like for production purposes?
I have one, but it's gonna be years before she's ready. It's a rainbow boa, and she's still like this little.
Mm-hmm. And that's it for
Um,
now, you think?
for now, I want to see how well things go with the MBKs and with all the crested geckos and gargoyle geckos and all the other snakes. And I wouldn't mind doing boas, like the smaller boas,
Mm-hmm.
like the I think Shane's doing them, or Shane's growing them up. He's not really breeding them; they're not ready yet.
Right. Yeah,
I
he
wouldn't
has
mind doing those
Sonorans.
smaller. What are they called? Charons.
Sonorans, but he has a pair of Tarahumara's too, which are
What's
kind
the
of Sonoran.
what's the difference between those two? Like how big do they get, or how?
Tarahumara's are smaller. So like Sigma is the whole western side of Mexico. That the
Mm-hmm,
Sigma, that species. So you have different localities, but technically Sonoran Desert is the whole thing.
mm-hmm.
But Tarahumara is a specific like mountain range.
Area, yeah.
But they're all kind of the same. But Taras are just smaller, so like 3 to 4 feet. And then Sonorans can be, I don't know, 5, 6 feet on the female side, maybe. But they're like a slender.
Mm-hmm.
I personally still think the if it's 5 feet, it probably shouldn't be in a 5540. It should be in a bigger cage. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
So they need something bigger than that. Yeah, you could get viper boas. The hard part is like predicting what people want at shows.
Yeah.
I don't know what they want because sometimes like what you want to breed does not align with what people want to buy at shows, and then sometimes what
Yeah.
people told you people want to buy at shows does not align with what they want to
Yeah.
buy at shows, and sometimes every show is different. Like every set of people in the show is different,
Yeah.
but it's been like very challenging. I don't know, even figuring out what to take to shows. For me, I'm just like, I don't know what these people want. Do they want a pink snake or whatever? Or like a pink corn snake? Do they want that? No, actually, it turns out. Do they
I like
want?
the purple ones.
Yeah, that seems cool to me. And then I'm like, okay, they want pies. No, they don't actually want that. Bananas don't actually want that either. What do they want? I don't know. I right now it seems like they just want cheap. If it's
Yeah.
cheap, that's what
Yeah.
they really want. $20, $40, $60, $80. Those are great price points for shows.
Yeah.
Nothing else really seems to matter. What do you think? Like, what's the most expensive snake you've sold at a show that you've vended in the last year? Like, not, well, things were still good.
Mm. Uh, I'd say the most expensive snake I've sold, probably 400.
At a show? Yeah.
Yeah.
I finally cracked $300 at the last show. I was kind of impressed with myself because it's been like a slog. Like I've stopped taking stuff 500 and up. I used to take 500 to 1,000, like a little bit of that for fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's just been not happening.
Yeah. I was thinking about putting a what is he? He's a hypo pastel vanilla het for clown on auction. How well do you think that would do?
On Morph Market?
Yeah.
Okay, can I tell you facts?
Okay.
Or maybe it's my feelings. I don't know. Like, I think retail on that right now is actually like $150.
Are you serious?
What do you think retail is on that?
I thought it was closer to 800.
What? A pastel vanilla hypo het clown.
Yes.
Yeah, to me, retail is 150, maybe 200 if it's like a nice example. It's male. So then on auction, it'll go for 80 bucks, 70 bucks.
Oh,
That's
wow.
what I think it'll do. What do you think about that? My words.
I don't know. That's just scary. How much effort it took to get that.
Yeah,
It took me 2 years just to pair the female and male because the male didn't really want to eat. Finally, he's eating, but he's still small, but he's got like 4 clutches underneath his belt.
I know. I don't know. The market has dropped a lot, and it's dropped a lot for males, and it's dropped a ton for males that are visual one, het another. They're not really worth that much. So you could go buy a DG het pied basically for nothing, a pied het DG for even less, a clown het DG for even less. So like just hypo het clown male, the codoms aren't super expensive. It's not like a redhead hypo het clown. It's basically fallen into pet price territory. Sorry.
I guess I need to change its price then.
so sorry. Yeah, peace and love, but it's been a lesson for me too, because I've been vending these shows after vending Washington shows, and I'm like, and then I fix prices of stuff. Like, I used to think that like a 2 or 3 gene het clown female, where the genes are cool, like not pastel, should deserve a price, like maybe $800. Like, what if she's spot nose leopard, yellow belly, 100% het clown? Wrong. That's the wrong price now, everybody. She is basically, because it takes her 3 years to grow up, not that valuable, because very few people want to wait for a non-double visual female to get that big, even if she has a lot of genes in her. So it's like the 500 and under club, basically, almost irrespective of the gene combo in her, because she's just a het clown. A clown is very common. So unfortunate.
Well, I got a show this weekend. I guess I'm gonna be changing some prices. Damn it.
Sorry.
Because when I looked it up, it was like, what was it? Like, I was thinking it was like around 1,200, but that was months ago.
Well, the problem with everything on Morph Market is already overpriced to begin with, compared to shows that are here. Some people have been like, Morph Market's cheaper than my show. I'm like, okay, this show, half of Morph Market's like mean for sale inventory is like the show price, in my opinion. That's how poor these people are. And so then when you take something to auction on Morph Market, you're getting like something between show price usually and auction price, or maybe wholesale and show price. You're getting it somewhere in between there. And if stuff's sitting on Morph Market for a long time, especially on the ball python side, it's usually sitting because it's overpriced, unfortunately. If it's extremely rare, obviously you don't underprice it, but even the stuff that's rare, I don't even know who's paying for it at this point. Chris said on auction he thinks $100. Yes, Shane had an extraordinarily hard time selling his het girls, like GHI, Red Stripe, Yellow Belly, Het Clown. $200. And Marissa's back, by the way. Welcome back, Marissa. And Paul's here, Large Morse.
Hey, Paul. How's it going since the win?
He's the winniest, loseriest, lamest winner. Lamest. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. A lot of it's like because when you go to a show, they don't know any better, right? Because so when you're putting your table together, the customer that's like a pet customer doesn't know any better. So they might spend 150 for a snake that's on Morph Market for 80 because they just don't know any better.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to sell to a breeder's gonna know more. And so you'd want to like convince
Pet people
them.
probably don't even know Morph Market exists.
Right. So it could
Unless
be
they're in the
any
loop.
price to sell to a pet person. Sort of like based on looks. But all of the like little breeders, even the baby breeders, they all know stuff's going downtown. And so they're much more price sensitive in my experience. What do you think about that idea?
Yeah. A lot of these are either wanting to hold a snake and go through all the breeders just to hold a snake. And a lot of people are just coming in just to have a good time with their family. And they might not purchase anything.
Right. Have you started selling toys or whatever?
No.
Jewelry?
No.
3D printed slop?
No. 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 I ain't got time for that shit.
Right. I don't have time for that shit either, but like sometimes that, I don't know, smooths out the weekend, right?
Yeah.
You're not making money off of it, but you're like, I don't know, paying for your dinner or whatever.
Like the show before this last show, I sold 3 ball pythons. The next show, I sold 2 geckos, but I also bought a gecko. So.
Uh-oh. Whoopsie. My hand slipped. And my card slipped out of my purse. And then my card slipped.
Hey, baby, bring me Colt.
Into the square. Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. I don't know how to do it. I have heard that summer shows are worse. What do you think about that theory? Just during the summer.
Come here, baby.
Are you getting a pet of some kind? Or a human? Oh, it's a dog. Oh. What's his name?
Colt.
Colt, like the horse.
Are you all on a bed?
Colt 45.
Oh, like the gun.
Absolutely.
He's cute. Thank you for sharing.
You're on the bedding, aren't you?
No, it's right here.
Rat bedding?
Rat bedding? There should be some out there.
Okay.
Yeah, we're talking about making jewelry, 3D printed stuff, selling knives, or candy. Dog level 200 plus. Thank you. Yes, we agree. Yes. Yeah, it's just, and it sucks that it makes the show look like a flea market, and it sucks that it's, I want to just sell snakes, right?
See, the middle of last year, I was doing 2 tables, and then it wasn't cost effective for me, so I stopped bringing the rats, and I started bringing just the ball pythons. And right now right now I only have enough room for 2 cases and plus the adults that I'm selling or crusty geckos on either side. The 6-foot tables is very hard to get more than that on there.
Who does 6-foot tables that you vend?
There is Cold Blooded in Kansas City does it. What was the last show that I just did? St. Louis has 8-foot tables.
Mm-hmm.
Blue Spring has 6-foot tables. That's my local.
Blue Spring cold blooded?
Yeah, no, it's Show Me.
It's Show Me. Yeah, it's very random.
It's very random. It's either 6 foot or 8 foot, and some people, if they know that it's only 6-foot tables, they will actually bring their own tables that are 8 foot.
I guess that's a good idea. Fuck it. I don't know. But then they get mad that you're like tromping in with your own tables. And
yeah, I think it all depends on the vendor and to the promoter if they allow it.
Yeah. I just want.
But basically all you're doing is paying for the space it doesn't mean that you're going to use the tables. And depending on where your space is, if it's back in the corner all by yourself, it should be an issue. Now, if you're in the middle aisle or whatever, yeah, that might be an issue.
Yeah, I wish when I paid for a table, I got to pay for an amount of space behind the table.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
a lot of these locations, you're squeezed into like you get like 2 feet behind your table before it hits a wall.
Yeah.
Or your neighbor. That's why we were like.
That's when my back prop won't work.
Right.
I don't know
if
I had the big back prop when we vended. I did have that.
The big like metal thing. Yeah.
That expands. Yeah.
Did you go down to like the kind you pull out?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Look,
my other logo, my first logo. My first logo was a pull out, and it was just a 3 foot by 6 foot thing. And now that there is the reason I got that design is because 99.99% of the time it's just me. So I wanted something that I could do myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an independent woman and I don't like to ask for help.
Right. The pull on fabric ones, you sort of need help if it's wide enough.
That's my issue. I really want to go to that one.
Me too.
Because
They're real fun.
seems to be it stretches, and right now I'm having Velcro issues when I wash my cloth part that goes over the banner. When I go to stretch it on the thing, it doesn't want to go over to the side to connect to the Velcro very well. So then I have the side just flopping there.
Yeah, I know some guys like that. Yeah, so I found some, like a lot of the fabric ones are 8 feet. You can buy them in like 3 feet, 4 feet, 5 feet, or whatever, like increments. So I was like, if we go to a smaller fabric back one, maybe you can solo it. It won't be as big in the back, and you can stick it on a little 4-foot table behind you if you do a 4-foot one, instead of having to have 2 4-foot tables also behind you to do your backdrop and everything. That's what I was thinking about. Does that sound crazy?
No, I actually like the idea because it depends on the setup. If you got an 8-foot table, see, if I have a 6-foot table, but my backdrop's an 8-foot by 8-foot.
Right, is that gonna work? I don't think an 8-foot backdrop works at almost any of these like local small shows, because unless you ask them to move your position to somewhere where you're like, you actually have room behind your table. So I have yet to have a show me or herp show experience where I felt like I really had room behind my table.
Yeah. It depends if they put you on the center. If you're in a center like box area, like there's 8 tables and you're towards the one end or the other, it's not that bad. But here lately I've done shows and they have extra tables where people doesn't even show up.
Right. I've been doing show me shows lately where nobody is registered to vend, and then all of a sudden a bunch of people show up the day of, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I thought I was the only.
That's because the way Mickey's doing it now through the website or whatever, it's a crapshoot. Some people don't understand how to do it. Like, beginning of, say, 23, I looked at all the shows that I wanted to vend in 23, and I selected, say, I want this one, this one, this one. So I had a list that I knew what shows I needed to be at. Now he's trying to make it where you pay for the show when you sign up for it.
Right. Which is good.
But
frankly,
there are some people out here we're so small that we pay for the table the week of the show.
I know.
That would be me.
That part's fine, but like when I book a show, I need to know who's going to be there before I book it so I know what to bring. Like if 10 corn snake vendors are there, I'm not bringing 100 corn snakes. I'll bring 10 and more ball pythons, maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like a guessing game.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a rodent vendor? I don't know. I could bring some, but I don't know if I should or not, because who knows if there's even going to be one there. I don't know. That part stresses me out.
See, the reason I don't really bring the rodents anymore is because I wanted more attention on the ball pythons to sell those for. But sometimes in the beginning when I was vending, rodents would actually save my show. But I've got so many customers that come to me for rodents, I don't need to take them anymore.
Right. Taking rodents, I don't necessarily want to take live rodents. I mean, like,
It's a pain in the
bring a
ass.
freezer with frozen thawed. Yeah. What do you think the ideal size for a banner is, period?
I'd say a 5 foot, but I don't think they make that 5 foot.
You might have to do 4.
Maybe they should start making a 5 foot.
I might have seen a 5 foot. Depends on who's making it.
Colt, stop.
The doggies. Bad.
He's either eating cocoa or he's eating the rat pellets.
Yummy. You'll get good kisses from him later. It tastes like rat butt. My dog loves rat pellets too, though. They must taste good in some way.
Yeah. For some reason, this dog, I think that was a cocoa piece on the floor. You know how when you're just cleaning, you're just throwing shit everywhere. And
Right.
so.
Well,
But,
how many females you got going this year? Ball python wise?
if I'm lucky, like I said, I've got 4 more coming. The 5th one just laid last weekend. So I'm currently pairing 5 others. I'll be lucky if I hit 10. That was my aim last year.
Oh.
But I have several females that look like are in the middle stages. I had 2 other females that I was pairing that I got from Billy,
Mhm.
but the male was not locking, not doing his business. She was at 10, and I scanned her for the next time, and she was at 5.
Damn.
And that happened to both of those. It happened to both of those females that I tried to breed from Billy. Maybe they just wanted to take the year off.
They wanted to go back to Canada. That's what they were saying.
But I would say possibly 2 more, maybe 3 more, if I'm lucky.
Okay. Is that what you want, or do you want more?
I would like more.
Okay.
But I tend to grow my stuff at a pace that they want to go. Like I have a lavender that went last year, but she's not up to the weight I want to do her, or maybe she's a girl that wants every other year. And last year I was iffy if I was going to breed her, but she was like 1,200 grams and at 21 millimeter follicles. She gave me 5 eggs, and after she laid them, she was like 900 grams.
Right, but she did it. She went the distance.
Yeah, that she did.
Did you see her follicles before pairing her, or did she get follicles after pairing her?
I think I paired her once because her follicles, I have an ultrasound, so I use that equipment to see when I said, you're awful small.
Mm-hmm.
And that same way with my, some girls will look huge when they're building. Some girls like, I'm just hanging out. I'm okay.
Yeah, I had a lav do the same thing this year. She never got big. She's not like a big eater. She doesn't feel like being big. She's 3 years old. She built follicles. I think she has 3 or 4 eggs in her.
Yeah.
I'm not in charge of her destiny. She's old enough. I just don't think she's ever going to be a big female. Period.
Yeah. And then my blue, she's a orange dream. I got this off a spin to win. It's the only one I ever did. I got her for $20. She's a OD lesser fire. And my original girl, she's just my normal dinker. She's usually my biggest. But this girl passed her, I think, by the time she ovulated, she was like 3,200 grams.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, some of them they're just different. I think people, but it's hard to decide. I have locked stuff before it had follicles and never made a bunch of it have follicles, so I don't really think locking incites follicle growth.
I don't.
But then maybe if they were gonna do it anyway, it makes them do it sooner as possible. What do you think about that theory? But I feel like I've locked 50 snakes
agree,
and not got like forced them into it. But if they were at like 9, 10, wink, like they're thinking about it.
Yeah.
But maybe they were going to do it anyway. There's like a weird confirmation
This year
bias.
I've tried to wait until they're at least 14, 15. So at least I know they're going that direction. If they're at 10, they're just starting.
They're thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, a 15 is strongly considering making eggs. Like they want to lock. Yep. They will be interested in boys. Because some of those females are 100% cum dumpsters. They will take locks all day and act receptive. And
I have a leopard possible 66% het clown. I've had her since 2019.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen a follicle bigger than 9 from her.
Why did they do that? I had a 2017 Mystic that I kept for a long time just to see if she was insane or not. She finally bred last year. So she produced last year. So she bred in 2022. So she never developed a follicle or did anything until she was 5 years old. And she was already big enough when I got her in 2019 to do it, hypothetically. So they just don't do it sometimes because they suck.
So she was basically almost pushing 10 years old before she gave you a clutch.
No, she said 2017. So in 2022, she finally grew follicles, and her babies were born in 2023. Yeah, so she was 5. Yeah, but she was technically big enough, like 1,800 grams or whatever, by 2 years old when I got her.
So that girl, I'm actually selling to my ex-partner. Well, she's not really an ex-partner. She helps me when she can. She wants her, and
I'm sure she will breed probably eventually, like that snake. It's just you never know when. It could be any time.
No, I just need the space right now. Right now, I only have 9 spaces.
That's a lot. That's pretty good.
And I have 1,
how many grow-ups you got?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that needs a bigger tub.
Oh no. I just need to buy another 5540, I think. Don't tell me.
I want to get the ARS Mini 130.
Yeah. They're nice. Like, I like them.
Right now, I'm just using sea serpents and I think it's called recoil reptiles.
Mm-hmm. I want a rack that holds FP5s that corn snakes do not escape from. That's what I want. Because they escape from black box. So warning everybody. They don't escape from the sea serpents ones, but that's it. It's just sea serpents. All right, Jake asked a question. How do you feel about music being played at other people's booths?
As long as it's not an annoying bang your head music, if it's soft enough that it's not distracting for you talking to a customer. If it's louder than you can talk to a customer, yeah, that's an issue.
Yeah. The other problem with it, and people don't think about this, is it's a causes the content ID system on YouTube to like,
Flag.
copyright strike that person's
Yeah.
video. So if you
Yeah.
want people to make videos about your show, you would technically not want to have copyrighted music playing all over the whole show because that's not actually good for them. So I think every show should want content creators coming to their show to be like, this is the show, St. Louis, show me show. Because like that's good branding. It's good advertising. So that would be the reason maybe not to do it. Otherwise, I think it's fine. What's up, Morph Minded?
Yeah, I had a couple right next to me. They mainly did turtles, and they had some music playing, but it wasn't obnoxiously loud.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it helps.
but
like,
the thing is,
break
you don't
up
know
the
what
mood.
other people like.
That's right. I just think it's mostly a volume thing. It almost doesn't matter what it is if it's not too loud.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What show was it? I think it was the one Carissa and Marissa were at. They were playing like 80s music. That was all stuck up in my head the whole time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't help it. Carissa loves music. Jake says if it's not a distraction, then it adds to the presentation. Respectful volumes. We love that.
Yeah.
And High Viz is here, Jen's here, and Raven's here. We're just hanging out, having fun. All right. What do you think the ball python hobby needs more of? Like, and it could be anything. Could be different kinds of people, different kinds of snakes, different kinds of shows. What do we need to fix, to work on?
See, even though these shows are say pet shows, or should I say
turn around. So sorry. Go ahead. Do we need more
the
pet shows?
people? Huh?
Do we need more pet shows?
I would say no.
What about dedicated pet shows? Shows that aren't for selling, just for explaining pets to people, right? Like they pay the vendors to go there, not to sell snakes, but to have like presentation snakes.
Yeah.
What about that?
I don't know. Still, biosecurity would be a situation.
Right, but so if people had presentation animals that were only presentation animals, they weren't for breeding, they weren't for selling, then it sort of doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just don't know how well
sacrificial lambs.
I just don't know how well it would do.
I don't know either. I mean, like, you would have to make it so there's lots of different kinds of things there. Make it truly like a zoo.
Yeah.
If you got paid $500, would you take 5 ball pythons to be pet by kids for a weekend at a show? A zoo experience.
Possibly.
Like, yeah. It can't be really far away or whatever, but if you got paid for your time, would you do it? So could you pay an emu person and a wallaby person and a couple other people, a turtle person, to set up a portable zoo? Maybe. Maybe not.
I think it'd just be a hard sell.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, what else do you think the hobby needs more of?
That I really, I don't really know, really. I just...
All right, what does it need less of?
Facebook key monsters.
You don't like being mansplained to by a 15-year-old on TikTok?
See, the thing is, when I very first got in, I went to Facebook to get more information.
Mm-hmm.
I was afraid to even put anything on there.
Right.
So I started going to the shows myself, and I started talking to the actual breeders, and that's what got me into it. See, I enjoyed biology when I was in high school, and I originally wanted to be a marine biologist, but you can't do that in Kansas.
It is difficult.
Yes. So, and then life got in the way, and here I am, 50 years old, and trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my life when I can't work no more. I fell in love with ball pythons.
Is this something you want to retire with, or do you think it'll be too much labor? You know, like hustling the shows and doing all this crap.
No, I don't think it'll be
rats.
too much. The thing is, I work 12 hours a day, probably 5 to 6 days a week since I was 23 years old.
Mhm.
When I retire, what am I going to do? Be a couch potato and do nothing? No.
Probably not. Yeah, it'd be boring anyway.
I couldn't stand not working. So the original plan, yes, this is my retirement plan. I'm not going to get overwhelmed where I would like have 1 or 2 employees. That's pretty much about it. And
You want employees. You're an employee wanter.
I would say employee to help me with the ball pythons, and an employee that strictly does the rats.
And you do the shows?
And I do the shows with 1 employee 1 week, and if there's another show, the other employee can join. Something like that.
That's a big operation to support 2 employees.
I know.
Hypothetically.
But hypothetically, maybe I'll never get that far. I don't know. But you don't know until you try.
How much growth do you want per year? Like, how many animals are you adding? How many 5540s are you adding each year?
I'll be recycling. Like, last year, I probably gained a lot of it's from my Dinker project.
Mm-hmm.
Last year I probably gained 5 or 10 animals, which only had 8 clutches last year. Mm-hmm. So I want to keep it where I don't have a really big collection. I would like no more than 120 females. As I sit right now.
Have you been buying up females during this time of many deals, or are you still trying to grow from within?
Unfortunately, I haven't been able to, because all of the money that comes in here goes back out to either feed the rats or get rodent food or get supplies for the rodents or help me pay a deposit on a snake. Mm-hmm. So most of my money that comes in from the business goes right back out to the business. And I haven't had luck on the shows this last year.
Yeah.
I still probably have 10 or 15 snakes from 23 that I haven't sold.
What about 22? Do you have any 22s left?
No.
Good job. I still have 22s.
I do have 121, and the reason that is I don't know if I could sell it to anybody, because when I was first getting in, it was like my second clutch. Mm-hmm. And I gave it a what do they call them? Field mice or something like that. But anyways, I went upstairs, ate dinner. 20 minutes later, I came down, and it's chew all up to hell.
Oh no!
So I can't really take it to shows. Huh? Yeah.
So he's just scarred.
Yeah. Here, I'll show you real quick.
I'm sure you can find like a happy pet home that would want a special boy, girl.
It's a boy.
It's a boy.
And he's deep in shed, but his scars aren't terribly bad. It's just mainly on his spine, which he's in shed right now.
Yeah, I can see it. It's not too bad. I think you can find him a pet home.
Yeah,
Just explain the story or whatever.
but he's a iffy eater. That's the only
Oh,
reason.
now
we
he's
have it.
scared. Yeah. Those are tough, harder placements because people really need it to be like a good eater.
Yeah. But so
Do you want a nonviolent felon to work in your business for cheap?
I can't really say anything to that at this point because my facility is in my home, so it's everything I have in my home.
That's a good question. Would you want to lease or buy a separate facility off of your property or on your property that's just separate?
I would like to have a unit out in my backyard, which my property is actually 2 properties because I got 2 lots.
Mm-hmm. So you have room for a.
Yeah.
Would it have to like comply with some weird zoning?
That I haven't looked into that, but
Okay.
mine's right by a creek. It's like the city overflow or whatever. It's not like a river or anything, but that's where the sewer is.
Like a wastewater channel?
Yeah, I don't know exactly.
Stormwater channel? That's what I meant.
Exactly what it is for, but and then I get field mice quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be rich people shit. Because you could put a prefab building back there for not
Yeah,
that
I
much
wouldn't
money.
mind getting a container and redo things back there.
I want an absolute compound with mini buildings on it. Does that make me a bad person?
Sounds like you have a little problem of hoarding animals.
I know. No, I just want I want rooms for the kinds of animals, and I want them to be separate. Right?
Oh, I get it.
Like a cool building, like a montane snake gecko building, montane building, hot, sultry jungle building, temperate building. That's what I want.
Yeah. Yeah, I want the rodents out of my house, and then I want the rodent area to be my baby room. And I want a sink.
Yeah, sinks are nice. Raven says, my primary business is fish and people want to come look at them all the time. And nope, internet sales only unless I know you. Yeah, I don't let anybody to where I live anymore. I used to. It's just too risky. I just meet them now. I mean, it is rich people shit to have a separate building, but it's even more rich people shit to have a compound. So I just saying, like, it's within a normal human's grasp to save up and get like a little prefab building put on their lot.
Still, that's even $100,000 easy.
Maybe. It depends on how big it is. Like, you can get some prefab buildings. They're not like the biggest ones. What are they, like 16 by 40? 12 by 40?
Mm-hmm.
Some of them aren't that expensive. You have to finish it out and have a foundation put in and have electricity run and a mini split. So maybe like it all comes in.
Yeah, I would have to put a pad out and back.
Not that kind of compound. A 20 by 14 shed or 10K. Yeah, you have to insulate it and do a bunch of stuff to it.
See, my shed is what is it? It's a weird dimension. 15 by 21. I just got to get my brother to come out and finish it. It took me 10 grand just to run electricity out there. Just because my house wasn't up to code or up to spar what I needed to be out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I refinanced the house and fixed a few things around the house and got my utilities fixed and upgraded a little bit. And they told me I would have enough power for this from this box to go out to the shed and a building if I decided to do that.
What's in your shed? The rats? No, the rats are in your house. What's in the shed? Just like garage stuff?
That's where I want the rats.
Okay. But we're still
I have
working
a
on it.
mini split being put in. Then we have drywall and insulation still to be put up before I can get the rats out there. Oh, and more outlets, power sources for like fans and carbon things and whatnot.
Mark, it's cheaper if you build it. And he says, I live in the sticks and I build what I want. The problem is if you live near people, they can look in your property and see what kind of dumb shit you're doing and call code enforcement on you.
Yeah.
So you gotta keep it all.
You got to keep it legal. Otherwise, you'll get yourself in a world of shit.
That's why you need a compound. If you have perimeter fencing, they can't see what happens on the inside of the compound.
I hear you.
Gerald got an 8x12 for 4K. Yeah, they can't be. That's a room size building.
A small room.
But
if I did anything, it'd probably be a 20 by 40.
You're going big boy.
See, this room here is 15 by 21, but all of the walls are covered with something. I want like an area for storage and whatnot.
And shipping. You ever notice how much I have so much shipping supplies? It's its own room. Absolutely. Like I have boxes, phase packs, heat packs, ice packs, the little cards that go into everything, and the sticker section and the magnets. And now I have shirts. I literally have a whole part of my house that is dedicated to shipping and like processing shipments. And that is bullshit, by the way. It's like a whole extra 200 square feet.
That's why I say a 20 by 40.
Yeah.
But I still want the rodents outside of that room.
Yeah, ideally the rodents would be separate from literally everything else. Now,
are your rodents in the same area as your snakes are?
Yeah, right now I hate it. It's too dusty.
Yeah,
they're gonna kill that mini split, which was $8,000. I'm frightened.
I got the mini splits off of Amazon, and my brother's putting them in, and those 2 mini splits cost me like $2,300.
Right, I had to get a really, really, really big one because I have a really, really big building. So mine was expensive. Probably could have gotten one cheaper too, but I had them install it quickly before.
Yeah, when you get someone else to put it in and not either a friend or a brother or whatever, it's going to cost you $8,000. Because at the time that I bought the mini splits, is at the time they were running the electricity out there, and the electricity cost me 10 grand by himself. And I asked them about a mini split, and they quoted me $8,000 just for that little shed out there.
Yeah, I honestly fuck them. Like a lot of times, I feel like they're like, "Oh, you're a woman. You're fucking stupid." Like every time I get like quotes from people, I'm always like,
"Oh, I know.
I can tell you're looking at my boobs. Fuck you. I will fucking break your fingers." I would never say that to anybody, everybody. I'm just telling you, they just think we're stupid, and I am stupid. But for sure. Whenever I get my compound, and I have a mini split on each building for each separate kind of animal, I will just learn how to do it and install each one by myself.
How old are you?
Is that polite?
Probably not, but I'm talking talking to another woman, so
Oh, I'm 38.
38.
I got time.
Maybe.
I can get a
Maybe.
compound.
I ain't got that much time left, so
Okay.
I'm doing what I can do with the time I have left.
Yeah, you're doing great. Go big or go home, says Banana.
Mhm.
What's the point of moving out of the basement to another similarly sized room? Right. You might as well get it all taken care of. And Acacia wants a sink. Also, sinks are the best.
And
You know,
that utility sink. I just want one big vat that is like a 38 by 40.
By 40? I got the biggest tub I could find, and it fits a 55-40 tub, but it doesn't fit a 70-30 tub.
See, I want the one that'll fit the 70 tubs.
I couldn't even find one.
Oh, they're out there.
I'm sure they exist like in stainless steel, like really big ones. But in terms of like, you don't have to buy it from Webstaurant. You can buy it on, oh god, what is that place called? Home Depot or whatever.com, and spend a couple hundred. That was the biggest price. But you'd have to go to like Webstaurant and get like like those industrial ones that are stainless steel.
That's where I'll probably go.
Yeah.
Unless money really, really tight, I'll just get the biggest one off Home Depot.
Yeah. It's okay. And then you can always upgrade later too.
Yeah.
Like I wanted like the big long table so that there could be a drying rack there.
Mm-hmm.
But it was going to be like $1,500 just for the sink. And I needed a hot water heater, like a tankless hot water heater, and to have electricity run. And to have the water brought into the building. And I'm like, fuck me, right? So I just like, I use a rolling baker's cart as a drying rack. So I'll wash a bunch, put them on the baker's cart, push it over to like the tub storage cart. I don't know why there's so many tubs.
I don't even have a tub storage stuff. I have a stack of dirty tubs over here that I haven't cleaned.
Well, I do that too, but I have to like you have the different sizes and then they're drying and now they're dry. And you're like, but I don't need them right now. So I'm going to stack them up. Where you stack them up? Another baker's rack. So a clean baker's rack, then the drying baker's.
See, that's why I need a bigger building.
Absolutely. People act like this shit isn't farming. It is absolutely farming on like an industrial scale. You need like rooms for cleaning and rooms for shipping and rooms for rats and rooms for snakes and rooms for baby snakes and rooms for incubators. And all of that is true. And yes, you can 100% do this out of one room in your house, but it's at any sort of scale, you start to be like, oh.
Yeah, once you start scaling, it doesn't work out very well in one room. That's why I took the basement over. I think, like I said, I think this room is 15 by 21. And the other room in there where my rodents are, it's a 13 by 13.
Mm-hmm.
So I might have more room out in the shed.
Yeah, a converted stock tank would work. I think. You just have to like mount it up on something to get it high enough. It is rich people shit, but like people get sold the ball python dream. Like, yeah, it doesn't cost that much, and you just put some stuff in your bedroom. It doesn't really feel that way after having done it for 5 years. It feels like to have enough snakes to make enough money, you need enough infrastructure that it ends up being like rich people shit. And I know people are like, well, if you just sold all your crappy snakes and only had less expensive snakes, you wouldn't need as much infrastructure. And that is true.
But there are so many projects you could get into. One FB40 rack could be one project.
Yeah, you would have to be so disciplined, so precise in purchases, hold almost nothing back but the best of the best, and only buy $10,000 snakes. So it's almost impossible to do. It's not impossible. I'm sure people do it, but it takes time to get there. And even Ozzy doesn't have just one 55-40. So he still
He's
has
got several rooms, different rooms of.
That's what I'm saying. It still is like a multi-room,
See, I think he has a female room and a baby room, and I don't know what else room. What I've seen, he has at least 3 rooms for different things.
Right. So if the dream is to just make $10,000 out of your closet, maybe, but like to actually make it a full-time business of any kind, it absolutely requires infrastructure and scale.
Yeah. Yeah. See, a lot of people, when everybody started getting that stimulus money, that's where some of my infrastructure went. I didn't buy snakes. I didn't have snakes to sell because I wasn't really in, what was it, 2020? I didn't even hatch my very first snake until 21.
21 was still a good year, though, to sell snakes.
Yeah. 23, not so much.
Did you see that reel that Chung Reptiles put up? I'll bring it up. That'll be our it's like 2023 was the best year ever, or I loved it, but it's like I won't spoil it. Does anybody see it? Yeah, don't buy pastel. That's not an investment.
You can buy all my pastel. Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
It was really tough. It was fun. I enjoyed it. It was definitely a different ball game, but I had a blast. So thank you. I'm super excited. It was really tough. It was fun.
It was really tough. I enjoyed it. It was a blast.
Yes. I wasn't sure who put that up. That's what the one I thought you were talking about, but I wasn't sure, and I didn't want to say.
I just thought it was funny. I think this morning. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, because like it's really hard to like explain to people that I'm not trying to be negative, but it has been hard to sell in 2023. And even when you're selling, you're supposed to be grateful, but you're not making that much money because you have to keep the prices at a place that they sell at. And then everything costs more all along the way. Rat food, bedding, some tables have gone up, gas has gone up, and then you're like, okay, so the thing I'm selling is cost less and it costs more to make it. And I feel like I'm just getting yelled at every time I'm at a show and I get mites. So like you don't really feel valued in any way. And then you have to just figure out how to stay positive. And I do stay positive, but I also want to be realistic with people. It's just, yes, you should buy in if you want to. You should buy more. You should buy nicer ones. But you got to learn how to be resilient or something. I don't know. Because it's not. Some people have $0 shows. Some people have $2,000 shows. Some people have $500 shows. There's literally no guarantee, no matter how hard you work, that you will have the right snakes that show for that right show.
Yeah, it's been tough on me because I'm not a go-getter. I'm not up in everybody's face on the internet.
That's why I said you should do strip teases in the aisleway. I'm sorry, I give you a hard time. I was just trying to get you excited.
I was excited.
I know. Everybody was excited.
See, that's the thing. I'm kind of like stuck in the middle, and I work a lot, and I generally, with this and with my regular job, I still have 2 full-time jobs.
Yeah, that's a lot of ask from somebody and then not pay them when they go to a show and not make any money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's why when I was talking to Aaron, and I was like, Aaron. You know, like Aaron, like to me, there's got to be a way to optimize this. Like, I will wholesale stuff if it prevents me from doing as many shows, so I can retail the better stuff to Morph Market and like my very best shows instead of just like grinding for no reason. That's what it feels like I've been doing for a year. It's like working and grinding for no reason, just like washing snakes, like I pay the hotel to sell some snakes to repeat. I don't ever like move forward, but I did get rid of snakes, I guess. But that's not really a benefit. I'd rather have wholesaled them all earlier, focused on like
Yeah. See,
keeping
I
my
don't
morph
even-
market up to date, taking new pictures for like the snakes that are actually expensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of where I want to go to, but fortunately, I don't have a wholesaler. And by the time I start taking shows after shows after shows, then they're big.
Yeah, they're big, and people are like, "Ew," but you put a lot of money into it in feeders, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I try to do this as best as I can in my ability that I have, and do right by my animals. And
Is there a point where you're like, what is that point ever occur?
it has this year a couple times, but like I said, if you don't go forward and do what you need to do, a quitter, you're just quitting, and then what then? You're giving up on yourself.
Okay, can I play devil's advocate?
What's that?
Okay, so like, like the sunk cost fallacy is.
No, not right offhand.
Okay, so it's where you've put a lot of money into something or a lot of time into something, and you're like, well, I already contributed all this stuff to it. So even though I don't really want to keep doing it, I'm going to keep doing it because I already contributed all this stuff to it and I'm like stuck. Sunk cost fallacy is that like the second you actually make the decision to stop, you should stop. Because if you drag it out, you're just putting more money and time into something you don't actually want to do.
No, I haven't got to that point.
Okay. So some people, I think,
mine's more or less
like waver
getting down on
in
myself. What am I doing wrong? Where am I
Right.
going? And I thought about it, and I'm like, quitters don't get anywhere, so I'm gonna keep on going.
Right.
I've never thought about putting up my whole list on penny to the dollar or anything like that. It's never went that far, even though that would make my husband extremely happy.
Okay. Is there ever a point where you're like, because X isn't working out the way I wanted to, I just want to downsize a little bit to focus more on selling rats or whatever? Have you ever thought about that?
No.
No. Melinda's all in. Yeah, I don't want to sell
enjoy it
anything,
too
but I
much.
would like pivot the amounts of things. You know what I
I
mean?
have been getting rid of a lot of my lower end stuff. Like
Yeah.
probably even less than what it should be sold for. Like this last show. I bought this male. He was a hypopide. As a baby, I bought him at $750.
Mm-hmm.
Sold him for $325.
Yeah. That's just the way it
And
is.
the reason
now,
I
though.
sold him, the reason I sold him is because I already purchased a hypopide het clown male
Mm-hmm.
that I'm feeding now for the future.
Yeah. I think that's just the way it's going to be. Snakes, no matter what, become cheaper as they pet price out, basically.
Yeah. See, I think that snake only gave me one clutch that just hatched the other day.
Right. So that means we have to be very picky about what we buy because that's
why the auctions didn't really. I don't really look at the auctions. Yeah, there might be a few things on there that I could get maybe used maybe 1 or 2 years, if that. But I want something that's going to last me 5 or 6 years.
right. But that means, yeah, you need to get something more high end and or long-term useful.
Yes.
But the hard part right now, and it's been the hard part for a while, is like what is really high end and what is artificially the wrong price. And it's gonna drop here in the next fucking 2 months or something.
Yeah.
So that's up for debate. I don't know the answer to that one. Because I see stuff and I'm like, that feels overpriced to me. I don't want it. But if it was half that price, I'd probably buy it because that would be like the right usefulness for the value. But
Yeah,
then
like the
somebody
mill
else is
I
like, it's
got.
$5,000. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I mean, it's your snake. You can price it whatever you want.
Like the mill I got. I mean, there was mills similar to that were around the same price. But I just, at the time, I didn't have that amount of money. Basically, I was going to do a payment plan.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of the payment plan, I lowered the price down to $500 less, and I got it the next week. So I saved
By
myself
negotiating with the
$500.
person?
Huh?
You just
Negotiated, yes.
I don't know. I think a lot of sellers are ready to wheel and deal. So like if you message them, you could probably get some more off and make your investment better. It's just part of how to win in ball pythons is to do the thing before everyone else does the thing.
Yeah.
So 4D chessing continuously in your own head is, I think, technically required. Don't ask me the right answers, though. I don't know. Because you'd have to.
I tried to think about scenarios. There are a lot of times I went on Morph Market. I can't even find the genes I want. But then you're at the point, well, if I make it, as soon as I make it, it's going to be, if it's a female, it's going to take me 6 years to get where I wanted to go right now.
Right. So even if you were to make it, it's almost still better to keep looking for it in an older condition.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you would be breeding it faster.
Yeah. Like Billy always says, Billy is one of my main mentors. I have a local mentor and I have a mentor that Billy's the out-of-state mentor, basically. Billy always says, if you see it on Morph Market, why are you going to make it? If you can
you might as well go buy it.
Yeah, you might as well go buy it.
But you have to have some amount of infrastructure of animals to capitalize on buying each one individually.
Yeah.
I think the hard part is like when you're trying to pick investment quality animals, like 3,000 and up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the animals you can actually lose a big percentage on if you're being like tricked into buying it at the wrong price. Yeah. And I know if you agreed to buy it at that price, you thought that's what it was worth, right? But technically you could buy it too high and everyone else like LOLs at you when you try to sell the babies for X price. Because you're like, well, I thought it was going to drop, once I hit the next generation by just 50%. And they're like, oh, no, it's actually 98% dropped. They're all only $200 now. You're dumb. So that's what I'm trying to avoid when I'm picking something is like,
it's not going to drop until like 2 or 3 years down the road.
Right. But everything has been dropping now. So like
you just don't know where it's going to be. You have no clue what it's going to end up being.
Or do you? Because I think that's the game, right? That's the game. The game is like, can you outmarket the market? Can you find the thing first that will be desirable early so that when you put your like snakes you bought for 5,000 that have now devalued down to 3,000 when you go to breed them, you breed them together. You have picked a good combo, and there's a combo in there that is like more than the sum of the parts, more than just the goal. That is the game of ball pythons to me.
Yeah, like I was looking at a pairing that I'm thinking about doing. Okay, the male is just a disco leopard clown. The female has no heads, but she's got 5 genes. She's what is she? A spot nose, redhead, pastel, fire, yellow belly.
Is that pastel again? It's back.
Well, the pastel's only in the female.
I know. Okay, but you're just making heads, right? Clown heads.
Yeah.
Right.
But
that used to be a good idea
5
when
Gs.
clown hats were expensive. I know, but they're back down to like 30 cents. 4 gene
But
hat
5
clown
genes
females.
on her side and 2 genes on his side. Total of 7 codoms.
I think you'll be able to sell them for more than pet price, but I don't think it's that's a money making plan, even if those are rare hets. If you did that with a clown hypo male, leopard hypo clown, because then they'd be at least multi-gene double hets. It's just
that's what I'm missing.
Exactly. I mean, that's what my collection's missing
need
too. I'm like too heavy in clown, and I have too much of some of the same kinds of things. So, but the way to fix that is to pivot with different, more powerful, rarer, or more interesting males that can take the females a different direction. But making het clowns is not my plan anymore. They're not worth anything. Female, male. That's not true. Some of them are worth something. I just watched like Shane struggle to sell these very cool, technically cool het clown females. They're just not, people don't want them as much as they did even last year. They're just not worth, it takes too long to grow them up. They got to be het multiple things or visuals, basically.
See, that's why I was thinking about doing that, because the only male that I could possibly take to her is a DG het for hypo, but it'd only be 50%. I'd have to test.
That's better than a clown. I mean, het DG doesn't add that much value either, but it's better than a clown. That's my opinion. And I like clowns, so I'm not being mean. It's just there are a mega shit ton of clowns, all very nice. So they have to be something different.
Or you say Puzzle's going to be the next clown.
I think Puzzle will be popular and a nice pattern disruptor that's different. But I don't know what stage 4 of this thing is. I don't know. I think clown will still be popular, but that doesn't mean, just because something's popular doesn't mean that it's expensive, right?
Yeah. It seems like the more expensive they are, the more genes that are in there. Like if you have multi codom male and you put a multi codom female together, that's what your money, that's where the money is. But then you have the chance of getting a wall white snake.
Right. The like mini codoms in a clown paradigm equals expensive is over for me. So when I see someone like it's a 4 gene clown, therefore it's 7,000 over, I don't believe it. The market, I think, doesn't support it.
You think the market's dead in that era for the clown?
I think people will like it, but I don't think it deserves to be $7,000. I think it should be $1,000. It was hard to hit. Congratulations, but it's just a clown plus some incomplete dominance. You didn't make it a triple recessive. It's not a clown plus incomplete dominance double het. It's not a hypo clown het DG with 3 incomplete dominance. I don't know if anything can make a single recessive plus incomplete dominance command a price, except for a new rare hot incomplete dominant, which even then that will fall so fast. So all you gotta do is breed that to all of your cool combo clown females really fast.
Yeah.
And then the prices fall. Things actually need to be difficult to produce to command a price from me. Other people don't believe me.
So basically it would have to be either double visual or visual for one and het for the other for you to even consider that type of price range.
Yeah. Because it's so
That's
easy.
where I'm at.
So easy to buy a male clown or male of any gene you want and breed them to all those 5,000 million billion adult female clowns that are out there and just reproduce dad over and over again. Prices
Yes.
fall way too fast. Fuck them. I'm good. If you spend $5,000 on something, it has to be hard to make. It can't
Right.
be easy to make.
Like I have
That's
a
my
black
opinion.
pastel asphalt male that I bought like a year and a half ago. He's done 2 clutches, third one on the way. But I'll be lucky if I get $300 from him. But I've already got his replacement. His replacement I got from Billy. It's a Inchy OD Calico Super Asphalt
Mm-hmm.
that I'm replacing him with. So
NG Calico OD Super Asphalt. So are you treating asphalt like its own thing by itself? Like just making super asphalts?
I'm trying to eventually make freeways into clowns and stuff like that. And the pies.
Why don't you just go buy a freeway clown? They don't even cost that much money. They're like $500, $1,000.
But everything will have asphalt.
You might like super asphalt clowns.
Yes.
You're not Canadian, by the way. You can say asphalt if you want.
I
know
don't know
Billy's
why
gotten in your head.
I guess I watch Billy too much, so I say it that way.
I know, it's funny. I can tell. Anyway, you do you. If you want to say asphalt, I respect your choice, your lifestyle choices. Like if someone woke up in the morning and was like, I want super asphalt everything, super asphalt clowns, that's good. Okay. But I'm saying you can already buy freeway clowns right now that are pretty cheap. So why don't just go buy that? It's already like your double. You'd have to breed out yellow belly, but you can just test it.
Yeah.
They already exist.
Oh yeah.
Not very expensive anymore. They came down a lot too. I don't know. Just think about it. They look cool. I mean, Anthony Reptile Creations, he had them for. I think he sold some for like $500, $600.
Oh wow.
Cheap.
But they probably all had pastel in them.
No. The world is moving on. Stuff's changing prices. Clown is ugly? I don't think so.
No, clown is not.
I think puzzle and clown are good, but different. So puzzle sometimes doesn't look very weird to new people. So like a pet person, like if you put a puzzle on a table, it doesn't pass the grandma test. Sorry. They don't think it's different enough.
Yeah.
Clown does pass the grandma test, but it's also brown turd. So like, which turd do you want more? It's fine either way. I think they're both cool. Gerald says, sorry, chat. I'm finally catching up to you guys. I've heard a rumor that we might see all high-end breeders reduce clown in their collection significantly. Yeah, it does suck. Like in ball pythons, your popularity and your velocity of price fall are, correlated, right? So if you're really popular, the speed at which your prices fall is like perfectly matched because that's how many animals exist in the world to make the combos with. Unfortunately. Work-minded says get G-Stripe.
I do like the Kiki project.
Oh, you like Kiki? No.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say G-Stripe? I meant Tri-Stripe. Sorry. But you like Kiki?
Yeah, I do.
At least it looks different. Oh, God. There's a lot of doubles that don't really do much of anything. They're not that exciting.
I like the one I get.
Was it a boy or girl?
Girl.
So you get to keep her?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. It's nice to keep like some of your first special snakes.
She's a pastel vanilla clown pied. I mean clown hypo.
It is true. Nobody wants single gene clowns. But nobody wants. I think if Puzzle came down to that price too, they'd have the same feeling
I
because they're
just
brown.
sold a het clown female, or I'm selling a het clown female.
Oh, to another breeder.
I think
Or pet?
she's going to breed, but she's in the process of building her stuff.
That's
But
cool.
she's
I love fucking clown. I love it. I love it.
I love it too.
I like his dumb head. I like the drippy thing, and I like that they could be crazy in different ways. But just because you love something doesn't mean you just get to fucking charge whatever you want for it. I think that's the answer. I think all clowns should be more than $1,000. But
Yeah, what happened to him?
it's just
Like
this-
that one show that
Hey,
I did next
what time do you have to leave?
1 o'clock.
Fuck.
Got 4 minutes.
All right. Whoopsie. All right. What are you saying? Finish your thought. Sorry.
That one show that we vended next to each other, there was just a regular clown for $125. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's how much they cost now, brother. Fuck. Like on More Market now, there are some for $50. Not a
Oh
lot.
my god, that's crazy.
But that's your clown floor is $50. And then
So
females might be like
crazy.
120 something as your female floor. And then like it's a bell curve from there. But and just because something is as cheap as that on More Market doesn't mean that is everyone's price. I'm just saying like that's the floor. So that's wholesale fodder for sure.
Yeah.
You know.
At that price, yeah. See, my husband liked pied. I like clown, and I just put them together. So
Hi Viz. Just trust me. There have been freeway clowns for way less than that.
oh well.
Trust me. I'm actually, if some of them were on More Market, so if you search by sold, you can find them. Do you have time to answer this question? When it comes to an incomplete dominant, how does a super affect its value? Still hard to hit like a recessive. Anything?
The
I
super, it's kind of hard to hit. I would say. Shoot, I just made my first clowns this year.
They're good clowns. You did a good job.
It just happened to be hypo and clown.
Well, that's better than them just being clowns, right?
Yeah.
I
And
think
she
the
gave me-
answer is like you can't just take your clowns and your het clowns and breed them to more clowns to make combo clowns. You got to start trying something else. Try to make, like in this case, super OD, super blackhead clowns. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
Like if it, then
Just
you
like
could like
she
command more
gave
money
me-
for it.
She gave me 5 clowns. Only one double het. And I believe the male is double visual also. But it's only a pastel double visual.
Pet people like whatever they like. Some of them don't like the dark jeans at all, and some of them do. Most of them like bright jeans. I have a hard time selling GHI mahogany to pet people because they think that they're basically normals.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised
They're
if a
misled.
clown gets clumped into that category.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's just like the way it is. Yeah. Welcome to the Corn Snake Show. I know. I hear you about the pied, but it's a struggle to sell pieds when there's many other pieds at the show. They're not special. They're just like more pieds. So it used to be you could like make banana pieds and those would be $400. Now banana pieds are $200 also. Like they're the same price as a pie. I don't know. Y'all explain to me how to do it because I don't fucking know. Yeah, I don't ever want to give anybody advice on how to start a ball python breeding business because I don't know. Probably be as rare, specific, and high end as possible. That's the advice I would give right now. Otherwise, I don't know.
You got to be different. Otherwise, you're not going to see the attention coming your way.
Yeah, right. All right. I think you have to go now. Thank you for
Yes,
coming
I do.
on, though.
Thank you
We
for
had
having
fun
me.
talking about
Yes.
whatever we were talking about.
Just a little bit of everything.
Yeah. The chatty episodes are more fun, though, because then you're just like, I don't know. There's no
Time
pressure.
gets away from you.
Right. We're just chit-chatting and having fun.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully I see you at a show soon somewhere.
I hope so.
I don't know when.
I don't know either.
Are you ever going to do Dallas?
I would like to. I was thinking about coming out, but I just haven't got my tax return yet.
Okay. Dallas is coming up. I'll be
I
vending.
know.
So if you want
I
to
know.
have a party with all the cool kids. Just kidding. They cool kids kicked me out. I'm actually not part of the cool kids. All right, everybody. Let's say bye-bye. Thanks, chat. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Tomorrow is the auction. So if you want ball pythons, and I think there's boas on tomorrow's auction. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. I still don't have the full lot list because Anthony is slow.
Slacking?
Sorry. But he
Slacking?
can be. I'll get him up as soon as I have him, though. All right. Let's wave. Bye.
All right. Bye.